Mr. Go Get It Warren, and I am back with another video. Let me kind of fix my hair a little bit. So what's going on, you guys? Peace and blessings to everyone, and I hope all is well, man. So today I just want to talk about becoming a father at 16, turning 17. So, well, I think I was like 17. Yes. Yeah, 16 or turning 17. So, that experience alone, I have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old. But this experience is, I'm just talking about when I first became a father to my 7-year-old. I'm just telling, you all how my experience was. And it probably could possibly help you all, if you all ever become parents early and not really prepared mentally, financially, and just all around, just not prepared. It was more like, how you're young and you're doing things. I would never call my kids a mistake, but you're young and you're doing grown folk things, and that can happen. You having a child, things like that. And so my experience, how I found out, I was literally in school. I was in high school, to be exact. Of course, I was doing things and didn't really think of, okay, I could possibly have a child. When that happened, honestly, I got a call. And it was like, well, my kid's mother was like, she was just basically saying that, I'm pregnant. Man, I tell you, that took a turn for the worse, because at that particular time, I wasn't really focused on one girl, right? Not to say I was just out here messing with different girls, but I was entertaining them, which means like I was talking to different girls, things like that. And I wasn't ready to settle down. I wasn't even ready to be a father. I was not prepared for just being a father, honestly. And that whole situation was an experience I can never like forget, So I got the call, boom, she told me, she was like, I'm pregnant. I was like, what? Of course, at that particular moment, I'm like, if y'all, see me keep looking away, because I'm trying to pay attention, I'm at work as well, so just to get that out of the way. But that particular moment, I'm like, hold on one second, guys. That particular moment, I was in denial. I was in denial, like, and this didn't happen once, it happened twice. I was in denial, not to say that she was doing anything, because she wasn't. She was all that I knew in a way, and I was all that she knew. So, because we was young, and, young people make mistakes, young people do things, and things can happen, right? But my kids aren't a mistake, so let me just make that clear. When I got the call, I basically I was shocked. And one second. So you guys, I am back. So I had to basically help you guys. That was coming. So back to the story of, basically becoming a parent at 16, turning 17. So basically when I got the call saying that, she was pregnant, my kid's mom, I don't even want to say I was in disbelief, but I was shocked. I was shocked, and I was in denial. I was like, that ain't my child. The young folks stuff, like, of course you're going to be in denial. You're going to be childish, immature. You haven't even grown up yet. I haven't even experienced life for real yet at that moment when I found out, I had a child on the way. And it was nothing like that experience, man, I tell you. After everything kind of just calmed down, and I came to a realization, like, okay, I'm about to be a father now. So I got to like buckle down and just basically get on my grown man stuff, and, and tighten up, man, because, hey, I'm about to be a father. So I kind of, it gradually just settled in, and it kind of, all that in denial stuff went away. It took a minute. That's a part of growth, and, I'm so thankful that I have 2 daughters, and just basically 2 kids in general, because that whole experience was just amazing, honestly, and I wouldn't trade that for anything. So basically, man, just finding out, going to all the doctor visits, was amazing. The whole pregnancy was amazing. Just being there a step of the way, raising them girl. I mean, from birth to taking them to daycare, to taking my 7-year-old to school. I mean, when I say, man, the experience alone is amazing. And if you ever, get in a situation like I was in, and you in denial, just take a deep breath, man, and just basically let it all settle in, and you'll come back to reality and realize, like, I don't want nobody else raising my child or children. And so you gotta be mature about the whole thing. You cannot be childish. You cannot be immature. You cannot let that old childish mindset just stay there. Like, you just can't do that, because one thing about it, that child didn't ask to be here, right? And one thing you have to know is that being a father or being a mother, I know it's not easy. But one thing you got to know is that God blessed you to have a child. Not many people can have kids. And so when you can have your child, look at it as a blessing, because it is a blessing. And just be thankful, be grateful. And know that, whatever struggle or whatever downfalls you go through, that you'll get up. When you fall, you get up. When times get rough, you'll figure it out. And because one thing you will know is that when you have a child, it teaches you responsibility. It teaches you early on how to be an adult. And you will know that you have, when you know you have somebody counting on you, you know that you don't want to fail them. And that's all I was ever thinking about. Like, I don't want nobody to raise my child. I don't want to ever fail my child. And I want to be there a step of the way. I know I don't even post my kids on YouTube, because I really don't even want them, being posted on here. A lot of people I see, I'm not throwing shade, I promise I'm not, because I'm not the type of person. But I'm just saying, I know a lot of people will put their kids on YouTube, but I just personally feel like I don't want to do that, because I want them to decide whether they would want to do YouTube or anything like that. But that whole experience, just, from birth, signing that birth certificate, from, like I said, taking my baby girl to daycare, then from daycare to school, and picking them up and things like that, man, and just getting up. Oh my goodness, this is another thing I gotta tell y'all, man. If you have a child, just be prepared for that, because I think when you first have your child, you gotta cut the umbilical cord. I was so nervous about that. Oh my goodness, they was like, okay, cut it right here. I'm like, huh, right here? So I ended up cutting it. And that whole, man, oh my goodness, I was like, this is okay. When they're in the womb and the mother eats, they eat, through the umbilical cord. So it was just crazy, because how it looked, but I was nervous, and I did it though. I did it, and I wouldn't trade that neither. Just be prepared though. When the baby first come out or whatever, they gotta latch on to the mom, and then after that, then that's when you can hold, and your mom or whomever there you want to hold your child can hold them. So it's all like a process. But the mother first get to hold the baby, because they gotta latch on and feel their heart to heart type of thing, which is cool. And then, like 2 days or 1-2 days later, they're gonna run all their tests. And if the baby good to go, they'll let y'all go to the house or whatever. Man, I tell you, those first, few nights and things like that, and honestly, like the first 1, 2, 3 months almost, it's almost crucial, but it gets better, as the baby get older, because, they're getting older, and they'll become, independent to where they can do things on their own. But those first few nights is crucial. Like crucial for real, because you getting up, you gotta make bottles, you gotta make sure the baby eat, you gotta make sure the baby fed. And then sometimes, say for instance, your baby gets sick, God forbid, I hope nobody ever have to go through that, but babies will, get sick, especially when, like, after they've grown up and they go to daycare, things like that, they'll deal with sicknesses, but they get over it. But if they get sick early on, 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you gotta think, man, when they cry, they really can't say how, they can't tell you what's wrong. Like we can tell, somebody what's wrong. Like if we go to the doctor, we can tell them what's wrong with us, or we can tell them what we're feeling. They can't do that. Only thing they do is cry. And so a lot of times you gotta figure that out. Like, okay, what's wrong with the baby? Stomach hurting? Is the baby constipated? the baby got a fever, the baby just got a runny nose, congested, things like that. Like, you got to figure those things out, and that's why you got to learn your baby. Because if you're not taking this every time, spending time with your child, learning your child, then it's gonna be hard trying to figure out what's wrong with your child. But that whole experience alone is just amazing, honestly, man. And I'm just so happy, like, I get to just share this, because the next time I have a child, I'm gonna like actually film the whole thing. I want to do the whole little where they put the, I don't know, it's not clay, it's like something they put over the belly, and it makes the belly it forms the belly, and it's like it hardens. So I want to do that. I want to take pictures. I want to do all that stuff next time I have a child or whatever. I don't plan on having any anytime soon, but God willing, man, I'll have one when I get in a better situation, things like that. But hey, God's timing is the best time, so I know that it'll all work out. But man, just to give y'all some advice when having kids, just think it through. And the person you with, man, you got to think long term, longevity, because if you and that person split, you got to make sure both ends and both parties are, it's mutual, and you got to make sure that y'all can still co-parent and not hate each other, because a lot of times that can happen. And I don't wish that on nobody. I feel like when you have a child, raise that child together. And if it don't work out as the child get older, give them the option to, like not give them the option, but let them. Honestly, you gotta kind of, if y'all split, that child, you gotta, that child gotta be able to understand that. And if they're young, they're not gonna understand that. So, just my advice: stay together, raise your child, and do right, man. Do right, and you will be an amazing parent, whether you're young having a child or older. Just think it through. Make sure you're thinking long term with this person, because anything is bound to happen in relationships, marriages, anything. And so you'll be an amazing parent. Just be patient. That's one thing you gotta have with a child, is patience, and you gotta be ready to step up, because that immature stuff gotta go out the window. The mindset of, I still want to be in the streets, I want to do this, I want to do that, that got to go out the window, because you're the one that's setting an example, and you're the demonstration, of raising your child. So you got to make sure that you're focusing on your child and taking your responsibility to take care of them, man. But that's my experience of having a child, and one day I'll film it all up until the baby's born, what to do, like do's and don'ts, how to do this, how to what not to do, things like that. But hey, man, that's kind of my experience. If you took something from that, let me know, drop a comment. But don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and comment down below, and hit that bell so you'll be notified every time I post. Peace and blessings. God bless you all, and much love.